Coach McCall, tough stretch recently. You're looking at
Yeah.
that win over Seattle, though. But just what are the biggest issues or concerns on your mind?
No issues. Um, you're gonna have some small concerns of like why are we losing certain games in close margins where we have our opportunities to win, and we kind of look back at what we are doing wrong to lose that game. Where are we making our mistakes? And so this is the fun part for me. And I think I said this last year because this is where the coaching comes in at. This is where I have to be ready to step up to the challenge and be ready to take up on that role. Because it's easy once you're winning, the team kind of motivates themselves. It's when they dig themselves in holes and then they come up really short on games, and you're trying to figure out why did we lose that close game. And so I think I know why. I figured it out. We're in there working on it right now. You can see a huge difference, and I think you guys will see a huge difference. And the biggest thing is our defense. And if you look at the scores, we're scoring now, and scores are high. And before, our defense is one that's got us wins. Last year, we were worried about the scoring. And you guys were talking about, man, well, you're going in these long droughts, but we were keeping the game so close to where we were able to pull out wins. Now, we're scoring, but now we're not getting the stops we need when it comes down to crunch time. So now you're going to see a difference. And like last year, it was the scoring part that we were kind of messing around with our scoring at the beginning. And then I made a tweak on it, and then, bam, we start picking up our scoring, and then the defense stayed the same. So we're scoring. So now you'll see the scoring still there. Now we make one tweak on defense, and now you'll see the defense is there, and you'll see us coming out with those wins and those stops that we need that's necessary. So I never really was like, it's no issues or anything like that. But that was the one concern, like how can we get stops? What do we need to do to get these stops at crunch time of the game? And so we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I can tell you that.
So what are the tweaks that you're making to the defense?
It's something that we've been doing last year that we didn't do this year. We were allowing teams to get to where they wanted to get to on the floor this year. If they ran a play, we played the play. We ran the play with them, along with them, and tried to stop the play. And then once we did stop the play, now it came down to our individual one-on-one defense. And then we were allowing the person to go left, right, whichever way we wanted them to go. And why? Why do we do that? I mean, now we're giving them an option. Now our help defense is not where it needs to be because they're still involved with part of the play, or we don't know if the girl's going to go left or right, so we don't know which way our help should come. Should it come from this side of the floor? Should it come from this side of the floor? And it should come from all angles, but now we're just going to solidify those things and make the tweak on it and just keep the ball like we normally have done. You'll see us really working hard at keeping the ball on one side of the floor and really trying to take teams out of the set from the beginning, not allowing them to run through the set at all. So we're just going to take them out of that. We'll know exactly what they're going to do with the set. We'll scout them out. I'm going to give my girls all the information that they need just in case they get to the second part of the play or the third part of the play, and then we'll still be able to get a stop out of that. We'll know where the ball is going, and we know what we need to do on our rotations.
I mean, you still had JJ, still have Dallas, and these people from last year that were, that are such strong defenders. I guess why do you think it was that there was, you need to make those changes and it didn't carry over seamlessly from last year?
Like I said, we started trying to, do some things differently, trying to see how we can, because we knew we were good individual defenders. We knew we had JJ, we knew we had Dallas, and we were allowing teams to, run their plays, but we were stopping the plays. You can look at it, the scores are close, but then when it came down to crunch time, we weren't getting the stops we needed because we didn't know, again, which way the ball was going to go. They'll put the ball in somebody else's hands or they'll run a pick and roll to get JJ off of them, and then here we go. So we weren't doing a good job on that. We weren't doing a good job on those things. So now, it takes a while sometimes to figure those things out and in order for your team to be able to gel. And so once we figured these things out, and you can see the look on my face, I'm overjoyed with what we're doing. You can see us in there working right now and working on those things. And I went back and I just showed our players last year's video today. Showed them video from last year of how we just locked in on defense and how there were, I have an 80% rule, 80-20 rule. If we could do things 80% right of the time, then you'll win a lot of games. And we weren't doing that 80% of the time. Last year we were. As you tell, the result, even with Alizé, we knew that was an offensive weapon for us. With her going out, our defense carried us into that championship game. Our defense got us 3 points short of that. And that's the part where we needed that offensive weapon late in the second half, which was Alizé, who can do so many things with the ball. But now I think we're going to be okay. If everybody, Lord willing, everybody stays healthy, we continue to do what we're doing right now, keep getting better and better each game as a team, we're going to be fine.
Was there a specific game from last year that you showed them, like the SMU game or something?
No. Actually, it was part of Utah Valley last year. And it was a conference game that I showed them. I told them about the SMU game, how that was like the game that kind of solidified that we were that good on defense. But I showed them the Utah Valley game because to me, they were the most dangerous team, even though New Mexico State was really good. Seattle was really good. To me, Utah Valley was the most dangerous team because they had two weapons on that team that can go off for 20 or 30 points at any time, the two guards. And they had a big that was pretty good. And they gave us fits over there. And so I think this year, again, is going to be that team to beat them, UMKC. I keep saying UMKC. They're pretty good.
And you got the win over Seattle. Seattle's winless right now, but can you kind of put that into context? Because, I mean, Seattle's not your typical 0-15.
No, they're not. They're going to get some people in conference. It just hasn't clicked yet. And I don't want to be the one to, get them their first W. But when it clicks, it's going to click because they have some weapons. And it just hasn't clicked, and they just haven't figured out what they need to do in order to win yet. And so we did a really good job of holding our own and pulling it out toward the end. That was our first win in Seattle since JJ has joined our team. And so to get JJ her first win in Seattle was good, and then the way we pulled it out was really good. We've shown a lot of growth on the offensive end and who we can trust with the ball and not to trust with the ball and who we can get it to at certain times. And that part we're going to be okay with.
You sound pretty confident that whatever you're going to tweak is going to bear fruit. You got some pretty good teams coming in this week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm really confident about that. And it's something that we've harped on for, and you guys have been saying that since you guys have been knowing me. Your defense. This is the first time you guys probably said, man, what's going on with your defense? And I know what's going on with it. It took a while, like I said, for it to figure it out. And, yeah, we made some mistakes down the stretch where we were fouling a little bit too much. But I think a lot of it was because of the way we were playing our technique and trying to stop plays instead of stopping personnel and forcing teams to do what we want them to do. And I think once that happens, and you'll see it, starting up on Thursday against RGV, and then just continue to carry over from there. So it's going to be pretty good.
Your thoughts on Thursday and RGV?
Same team, different coach, different system, a lot of dribble drive. You'll see a lot of that, a lot of dribble drive system, but same thing, same players. Not as tall in the middle this year. They lost a big girl to graduation. So I think their tallest player is about 6 foot, but they work hard, extremely hard. They get after it. They've always done that. Even with the old coach there, they got after it. So they're still going to do the same exact thing because they've been trained to do that from Coach Tidwell, who did a really good job with them. And then now the new coach there, Lane, he's done a really good job of keeping that going and getting these girls to play extremely good basketball. Players are stepping up in big roles and doing some big things, but they're going to play hard. They're going to come in here and play hard, extremely hard. So we know that. And so we're going to be working hard. We know that it could be a close game, but we're ready for it.
Early in the season, I hate to use the phrase must win, but it's 2 home games and you're sitting at 1-1. How crucial are these games?
Oh, every game in the conference is crucial. You can't mess up on too many games in the conference. I think last year I said like 3 losses or something like that could win the whole conference, and I think we were sitting at 4, and we had our chances of winning it. And so it's going to be the same thing this year, about 3 at the most. And I think New Mexico State right now, they're playing with extremely confident, Brooke Salas is playing out of her mind right now, and she's the person to stop on that team. That she makes them go. They feed off of her energy and off of her scoring and off of her defense. They just feed off of her, and but they're the team to beat. But the team to watch, I keep telling you guys, is UMKC. And I don't know if you guys saw the score of what they did to Chicago State, but they really put it on them. Yeah, that's a lot of points, and that was against Chicago State played some pretty powerful teams this year, some ranked opponents, I believe, at one point, some teams that were, and they didn't do what UMKC did to them. So they're the team to watch.
And Alexis Gilbert's scoring the ball better than she ever has, more efficiently than she ever has. Do you worry at all about maybe more of the if there's an imbalance at all, if she's taking on too much of a role?
No, we've had players like that before. One lady right there, Ty Outland. I don't know if you were around when she played, but she carried us. But the players were wanting her to carry us. And yesterday they had a practice. The players called their own practice because we had to have another day off because by rule. And they called their own practice, and she called it. Alexis called the practice, and she was sitting there. We were talking for a minute outside the door, and they came and got her. Coach, we can't get anything going until our captain gets here. So that's saying a big thing right there, that when your players want you there and they know that you're the person and they depend upon you, that's huge. And that's the same feeling that this young lady had, Ty. I keep pointing at the wall because she's on there, and the Ty Outland, that they played hard for her and wanted to see good things happen, but they knew they couldn't really do a whole lot without her. Last year was Alizé, and Alizé wasn't that scorer. She was just that glue. We always have that glue. That's that one person that just makes you that much tougher, that much better, and that's what Alizé was last year to us. And Pee Wee is that to us this year. And if we can continue to have her play how she's playing, JJ play how she's playing, and then the next big step for us is to get Vanessa Austin. Once Vanessa Austin gets going, we're going to be really, really good. Once she gets rolling. She hasn't even hit it yet. And she's had some okay games, but most of her games have been like, once she hits it, she's going to be really good. And that's going to be our glue right there, Vanessa. So,
how do you try to get Vanessa going?
She got to get herself going, because we're going to get her the touches. We're going to get her the looks, just consistently knowing that she can score whenever she wants to in the paint. Nobody in the conference, I don't think, is going to be able to stop her. I mean, there's nobody there. It's just her.
That start Thursday with a not-so-big RGV team?
Correct. Starts with them. I think we'll be able to get what we want, be able to score what we want. Now it's going to be about us tweaking the defense and making that tweak, and we'll be on our way. So we've got our one loss. Can't afford to lose these two here. They're on our home court. They're going to be the two toughest teams. What I mean by tough, they get after it. They get after you. And then we go to the next toughest team, which is that next trip, Chicago, and actually it's UMKC first, then Chicago. And so that's the next. We have 3 tough games that we have to take care of. If we can get past these 3 here, we can be sitting ourselves in a great position. Great position.